I'll admit that a couple of my most recent videos have been a little bit negative about TeamSport Warrington. But that's all out of my system, just in time for Grid Series Round 4. I'm serious, there's no moaning in this one. I've decided to keep it casual and to take it less seriously. Part of the reason why is now, after 3 rounds, I know where I fit in. I'm in 4th. Dunn and Mackenzie are fighting over the top spots, leaving Brian, myself, Mark, Simon and Lewis battling for 3rd. But Si and Lewis both have a game in hand, so they're more likely getting involved with Dunn and Mackenzie for the podium spots, while Brian, myself and Mark fight for 5th. Maybe 4th. Okay, so to summarise, a podium isn't likely, so I'm keeping it casual. So, for Heat 1, I've qualified 13th, and we have Si, Brian and Lewis in front, Mark's beside me, and Dunn and Mackenzie are behind. So, we're all pretty close on the grid, and all us heavyweights had pretty comparable lap times all night. We'll keep an eye on all these guys throughout, but now, we wait for the lights. As usual, we get some loading into turn 1, but we're all at the other side, though Mackenzie gets ahead before 2. I've got the inside line for turn 3, and end up side by side with Reese Dunn, but yield the position. As we barrel towards Sentry for the first time, Reese is about to try and move on Mark, which opens a window for me, but Mark and Mackenzie have a moment and I have nowhere to go, so Olivia, perfect in the orange there, gets through and mixes up a few places. Bit of a racing incident there, but Kenzie either isn't happy or he's got a fly stuck in his helmet. Must be a fly, so let's see how many shakes of that head it takes to dislodge the thing. As we finish lap 1, I've lost 3 places, but hey ho, we're keeping it casual. I'll try my best to keep up with Kenzie ahead, and out of turn 2, I feel there might be a switch back on, but as we hit Monaco, just not this time. But I am keeping close, and maybe close enough to launch into Sentry, but he covers me off nicely. Maybe next time. On to lap 3, and the guys ahead go 3 wide into turn 2. Good racing from everyone there, and it brought Mark closer to me. Olivia gets squeezed under the Dunlops, and now I have someone new to follow around. Now, considering I set my fastest ever lap around here in January while chasing Olivia, maybe I can get back into the 52s. Anyone who's seen my previous grid videos knows I've not had the best luck when it comes to the kart lottery, but either the fleet is in good nick, or I've drawn well here. This one feels nice, and honestly, each kart I had felt pretty good all night. It's just a shame that I haven't got the skills to use them. The guys ahead seem to drop me a little bit upstairs. But in the first sector, I'm making up time. So, by the time we hit Sentry, I get a whiff of an opportunity, but it's just not on this time. Olivia goes fast and wide out of the up ramp, but I'm not a knob, so I back off. There's no room here for a safe overtake. On the down ramp, I'm now super close to Olivia in front, but just don't have the speed to get alongside. Mark looks to have been gapped a bit here, and Olivia and I get even closer as he makes a mistake around turn 3 and then seems to yield the positions. Now, I'm not sure what that's about, but damn right I'm going to take it. It seems like Olivia has the pace on me on the underground section and upstairs, but in sector 1 it sees me claw it back again, and I can see a yo-yo effect coming for the rest of this race. Now right here, around Metbay, I get it all wrong, so maybe I'm just not driving Sector 2 very well at the moment. My much wider line into turn 3 seems to be doing me a favour, though I'm only able to do that as I've got no one up my arse at the moment. Now that's a better line through me, so I've clearly learnt my lesson. As we hit the down ramp again, it's clear I'm losing a lot of time upstairs. And again, you can see that yo-yo effect as we go around turn 3, because I'm much closer to Olivia. It's probably got something to do with lightweights and heavyweights being on the same track at the same time. But then, an even better line around Met Bay gets me real close to Olivia, and I'm sticking to her bumper all around the upstairs section, and I'm about as close to her as I've been these past few laps. So as we hit the down ramp, I'm close, but still nowhere near close enough at the end of the straight. As we start lap 9, we're coming to the end of this heat, so if I want to make a move, I'll need to do it soon. But remember, I'm trying to keep it casual. I'm not racing the car in front of me, so I'm kind of cool just to bring it home, which isn't really all that competitive of me, is it? Or is it? Because I've got the run here and try it under Sentry. Olivia gives the room and keeps her foot down and holds the position real well. That was probably the only opportunity I was going to get for the rest of this race. And it was, because a lap later, we see the checkered flag. P13 to P15, and behind all but one of the guys in my division, so not a great race from that point of view, but it was a fun race. There's still 2 more heats and the final to go, so it's early days. On to heat 2. Lewis, Brian, Si, Mark and myself are bookending the back of the grid. It's like they've kept us all together for the sport of it, and you know what? I'm all for it. But I've got more pressing matters on hand.
We need a piss.
No time for that. We'll wait for the lights. Ryan doesn't get a good start, so Mark and I make up a place, but Ryan has the inside line as we go into 2, so I need to go around the outside. I launch into 3 to take Mark, but I hit Si instead, allowing Mark to pass both. Then we all get this guy in green. Si makes a move on Mark around Met Bay, which means I can get past as well, but as we go up the up ramp, I get hit from behind and forced wide, but I do manage to keep the position. And then we all get snarled up a bit upstairs, but we all come out the other end, and I've got Si and Lewis in front of me. As we finish lap 1, I give Si a little tap, but the main story here is that I'm up 3 positions. Going into turn 3, I feel like a move is on, but the door closes quickly, so I throw out the anchors rather than cause an incident and get a nice boost from behind me. Having Si in front of me is a tempting target as we're both battling as heavyweights, but he is the faster regular of the heavyweight, so I'm not overly confident, but right now, whether because of first lap shenanigans or what, I am keeping up. In fact, with how much I'm nudging him around, it might be that Si has drawn badly in the kart lottery. Up ahead, Lewis seems to push the other guy across the track. Or am I mad? But it does give me a position up to P15 as we start lap 3. Si has started to gap me a little here, and normally I'd be waving him up the track goodbye. As we hit the down ramp, I'm right up his rear, so I try it around turn 1. Maybe this time I was too much of a gent, having maybe left him too much room into 2, so instead look to launch into 3, but again, throw the anchors out and I yield. Some poor dude drops into the pit, so now to 14th. On to lap 5, and Sai takes a great defensive line with the century. I'll need to remember that one. With how much I'm bumping into him, I think I'll accept at this point that Sai's car isn't the same as mine, because this one feels great. The two guys ahead of us have been battling, so they're not bombing away from us either. Sai once again with that line on the sentry, so that doesn't look like a move that's on for me. He's also getting defensive enough into turn 1, so make me think twice about throwing it in, and as I'm here for the casual, I'm okay not battering my way through people. Sai defends and attacks on the sentry, which gives me an opening, but then he gets his elbows out to force me out. And then, some great side-by-side up the ramp, which was a terrible idea on my behalf as Mark gets through. Some more side-by-side, but I have to yield to avoid problems, so find myself back in P15. On to lap 8, and I have Brian behind me, so all us heavyweights are having a battle for positions. Under the Dunlops, Mark has left the door open, so I go for it. Mark turns in and ends up spinning. I know he wasn't happy about that, but I know if I was in his position and there's a car on my inside, I leave the room and I yield, much like Olivia did in Heat 1. So I'm not feeling obliged to concede fault on this one. Whether that caused the yellows, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that one. With that, Sai ahead has managed to get a nice gap, so need to try and keep Brian behind and then close up with Sai. And putting in my fastest lap of the night helps. A lot. So nearly into the 52s again, which I've not been here for a long time, and 6th fastest of the race. So I'll take that as a win for the night. So after that hot lap, I'm now a lot closer, and Sai makes a move under sentry, and I wait to pick up any pieces, but this time there's nothing to pick up. So I'm back to bumping Sai along the track. Sorry, buddy. Sai once again showing us his experience in putting me off launching it into one. Dude is a real pain to get past. We're on to the last lap, and all I have to try is a make a move on the sentry, but the man has his defensive line locked in. Though a bump upstairs gives me some room, but nah, that ain't me. And with that, we hit the flag. P19 to P14, and with some heavyweights behind me, so a good result for the heat. Heat 3 next, and it should be a forward position start. And it is. I'm starting 5th, and again, all us heavyweights are grouped together with Lewis, Brian, Sai and Mark all in front, while we wait for the lights. A little bit of bumping and grinding in those first few corners, but all good racing, and we're all still in the same positions that we started. In front of me is Sai, then Brian, then Mark, and we've all been lapping at a similar pace all night, so if we can stick together, this could be a really good fun one. Or I could be so focused on Mark ahead that I let Kenzie and Dunn through. Kenzie is through, but as we go around turn 2 and into turn 3, I try my best to keep Dunn out, but instead, I'm just now further away from Mark. Now remember, these two are at the top of the division. Though it still would have been nice to hold them up at least a little bit, I do have a decent car under me, so even though I've been a knob and let them through, I'll try and keep up. At the top of the ramp here, it looks like Mackenzie boots Mark out the way, so it lets all 3 of us through. Sorry, Mark. I'm feeling a little bit bad about what happened in the previous heat now. No, not really. And no, it doesn't look like I can keep up with Reese. Never mind. As we start lap 3 though, we get a yellow. Operation try and not let Reese get too far up the road begins, and it starts real well with a purple first sector. Not that anyone's managed a totally clean lap yet, but simple wins. Fast forward to the end of lap 5 and the top 4 are all in sight ahead, but Si puts his hand up to signal to the marshal he has a problem. We go red and Reese and Mackenzie just mosey on through. But we stop because Si's car has some sort of issue, but these guys, they'll yield the position back once we get underway again, right? Brian does his best to signal that that's what should be going on, but once we're green, they'll give the places back. Yeah? Apparently not. So I guess I've now got Brian directly in front of me to tackle. Lap 7 and I'm officially part of the lead group, so I'm happy about that. There's no move on against Brian here, but I forgot there's drivers behind me, so the bane of my existence, Taylor Davidson. He gets past, and his spy's seen that bloody black and blue kart suit of his. Lap 8, and it's all getting a bit spicy under the Dunlops. A session of bumper carts later and Olivia has passed me, but worse, I've now squeezed Brian into the barriers. I had no idea he was there. A quick check behind shows he is still behind me, so being the overly generous guy I am, I'll wave him past. Okay, so on reflection, I don't think I needed to, but at the time, it felt like I made a position up through contacts. All this drama has kept Si safe from any of us lot trying to take his position, especially considering he was vulnerable with a cold car after his swap. And that's pretty much how it stayed. P9 from P5. Not good, but another fun race, marred slightly by a couple of the guys taking blatant advantage of a red flag. But now we've got the final. After a 15th, a 14th and a 9th in the heats, I'm starting a lowly 14th in the final. And I've still not solved my earlier problem.
I still need a piss.
Brian is nearby while Si, Lewis and Dunn are further up front. And I think Mark is behind. So let's wait for the green light. I cover the inside quickly and get a good run into turn 2, but Si has had a spin, so with a big roadblock, which I managed to skirt around just before a red light. And then when I finally come to a stop, I find myself in P10. This never happens. A first lap schmoz always makes me drop back places. Now the marshal said at the start that if there was a lap 1 problem around the first 3 corners, they'd restart using a rolling start. What I didn't know was that they'd restart from everybody's starting position. So, goodbye all those places I gained. But I will say, this is a pretty fair and sensible way of sorting these things out. Lap 1 problems happen a lot, and over the previous 3 rounds, it's been a lottery on if you'll be involved, gain, or lose positions. So this way, it encourages better driving, and if that doesn't work, we restart. So we get going again, as one long train of karts under yellow conditions, all the way around until the leaders get a sniff of the start line, and we're off. In front of me, I think, is Owen Green, who is well out of position, as I think he got a couple of penalties through the heats that booted him down the grid before the final. My main aim in this race is to try and finish ahead of Brian, who is a few places above me at the moment. And the two guys ahead making their move opens the door for me to get through. I've got the inside up the ramp and around the corner and made the move stick. So at the moment there's no other heavyweights close to me in front. I just need to keep Brian behind and move up with these fellas ahead. But then in the front of this train is Sai. So between us are a bunch of light and middleweights. Maybe if they can do the job on Sai, it might bring me into touching distance. What won't help is them all squabbling amongst themselves, allowing Sai to get some breathing room. It does mean, however, that I'm able to hang with these guys. For now. As we end lap 5, there's some moves being made around turn 1. It all looks pretty clean and good racing from my point of view, but something I don't have sight of is how spicy things are getting at the front. Or so I was told afterwards. Sorry I'm not quick enough, you won't get to see it. That same yo-yo effect from the earlier heat is in full effect again. The guys ahead steam away upstairs and on the straights, but by the time we're heading up the ramp again, I've pulled that distance back. It could be that Sai being at the head of this train and his ability to defend like a demon is causing a bit of a bottleneck. Starting lap 8, and more movement up ahead. They're 2-3 wide into turn 2, and they're going aggressive into 3, so I'm going wide to try and launch myself under the Dunlops and nearly get alongside Olivia. At the start of lap 10, Sai has been got around turn 1, and he's probably closer now than he's been all race. The guy in blue wants past as well, but Sai keeps it clean with his defence and keeps his position. Around Mech Bay, we all bump into each other, which offends the guy in blue for some reason. Fast forward a few laps into turn 2, blue guy looks to have the move done on Sai, but again, Sai keeps his foot down and makes the guy fight for it. I said it earlier, he's a pain to get past, but they keep their fight up along the Dunlops and go too wide into Century. Blue finally gets it done, but in all the chaos, I spear Olivia, which was a total accident, so I let her go by, but I see Brian on the left, so now I've got to try and defend from him, but up ahead we see a Brittany Norfolk in the wall. And as I turn round, it looks like she's been put in the naughty corner. And here, stop, this is Ben. And the reason why we stopped is because Ben is genuinely hurt. Afterwards, we found out that things up front were getting so spicy that 4 karts were trying to take or hold positions on the up ramp, which caused a huge crash, with Ben getting rear-ended into a barrier and Brittany getting some serious airtime and ploughing into a different barrier. I said it earlier, the up ramp is not a place to overtake. While we were waiting though, I noticed how much extra space there is next to this pillar here. I don't know, but might it be cool to open up this corner a little bit and bring the barriers back towards the pillar? A bit like the old Warrington layout. It's weird, the things that you notice when you're waiting under a red light, isn't it? And I'm sorry to say that this red took so long with needing to help Ben out of his kart and limp down the ramp that the race ended here, and results were taken from the previously completed lap. So for me, from 14th to 13th. Best of all, ahead of Brian. But what does that mean for the series? I'm still sat in 4th, though Sai and Lewis still have that game in hand, because now I've done 4 rounds, I could leave it here, as just your top 4 results count at the end of the series. So I don't have to do another one. So I'll be back next month for round 5. I'll see you then, and don't forget, like, subscribe, and have a good one.